Hello everyone. In this video, I will be discussing possible changes to make Symmetra a healer because, well, current Symmetra is not very good. I apologize for taking so long with this, but I wanted to see how the recent charge time reduction buff would affect Sim's pick rate, and lo and behold, it did nothing! Also, Risk of Rain 2 came out, and that game is a blast. Much like my Symmetra as a tank video, this version of Symmetra will be a mishmash of 2.0 and 3.0. I will go over the statistics of each ability, then explain it in detail afterwards. But first, I want to talk about how Symmetra 2.0 failed as a support. In my opinion, Symmetra 2.0 was a damage dealer who had a support ultimate. Because of this, Symmetra 2.0 had three big problems. 1. She could not heal. 2. Using Symmetra's ultimate required you to leave the fight. 3. Symmetra's orbs were too slow to make up for the short range of the primary fire. Symmetra 2.0 couldn't be a support because she couldn't heal. She also couldn't be a reliable damage dealer because her orbs were way too slow. Originally I said that I would not want to see Symmetra as a healer because it doesn't fit her design. Then I thought about it some more and realized Symmetra can fit into any role due to the unique concept of hard light. One big thing you guys will notice with this rework is that Symmetra technically has 4 abilities. I wanted this concept to focus on Symmetra's supportive capabilities as opposed to her offensive ones. Like my tank Symmetra video, I will tell you guys the stats of each ability first, and then explain my reasoning for it afterwards. Health: 100 HP, 125 shields, 225 total. Passive: Photon shields. Allies in a 10-meter range gain 25 shields. Shields dissipate after 1 second of leaving the range. Primary fire: 2.0 auto-lock beam. 30, 60, and 120 damage per second for each respective level. 8-meter initiator range, 10-meter attached range. Secondary fire: modified 2.0 orbs. 100 damage on impact. 1.5 seconds to fully charge an orb. Orbs move at 15 meters a second and pierce players and shields. Ability 1. 2.0 Photon Barrier. 10-second cooldown, 1000 HP, and it moves at 5.5 meters a second. Ability 2. SENTRY Turrets. Symmetra can select 2 versions of turrets, damage and healing. Similar to Moira's orbs. 3 damage turrets dealing 40 DPS, 10-meter range, 30 HP, and a 10-second cooldown. 3 healing turrets, 30 HP, 12-meter range, 40 heals a second, on an 8-second cooldown. Healing turrets will prioritize allies with the lowest amount of HP first, and a max of 2 turrets can heal 1 ally at the same time. Turrets will deactivate if all allies nearby are at full health or out of line of sight. Symmetra can have 3 healing turrets and 3 damage turrets on the field at once, making for 6 turrets total. Ability 3. 3.0 Teleporter. 30-meter range. 12-second cooldown. 10-second duration. 1.5 second deploy time. Ultimate. 3.0 Photon Barrier renamed to Photon Field. 5000 HP barrier that spans the map. Ultimate cost increased by 20%, requiring 1800 points to fully charge. Photon Shield's passive. A very simple passive idea I had from my collection of Symmetra buffs video. This passive promotes grouping up, and it is a good excuse to give Symmetra 225 HP, since Shield Generator will not be returning as a part of her kit. Certain characters will need to commit an extra hit to kill you, like McCree for example. 2.0 Primary Fire. This is a slightly buffed version of the 2.0 Noodle Beam. Same damage but with an extra meter of range. This version of the primary isn't really made for chasing kills, but more so protecting your back line from flanks, while your turrets heal allies. I don't think the 1 meter increase will be a big deal, because even with the 2.0 primary fire, if the enemy is aware, they will not let you get close. I also hate seeing forum posts about people who used to play Symmetra but can't anymore due to her beam change. If you guys are still worried, here is a list of heroes who can reliably escape a 10-meter range. D.Va, Winston, Wrecking Ball, Ashe, Doomfist, Genji, Junkrat, Pharah, Reaper, Soldier, Sombra, Tracer, Widowmaker, Lucio, Mercy, Moira. Okay. Other heroes also have crowd control and high burst damage to kill Symmetra before she can ramp up for too long. Modified 2.0 Orbs. But Ninja, you said you hated the 2.0 orbs and they were the biggest reason Symmetra 2.0 was a failure. Yes, I did say that because Symmetra 2.0 was not a support in my eyes. She was a damage dealer with a support ultimate. Also, these aren't the same orbs as 2.0. They charge up 1.5 seconds faster and move 5 meters faster than the 2.0 orbs, which moved at 10 meters a second. These orbs will move 5 meters slower than the 3.0 orbs, but I think it's fair considering that Symmetra will not be a damage dealer. Originally, I was going to keep the damage at its original 125. But after some feedback on having the teleporter as a third ability, I decided on lowering the damage since Symmetra will be offering a lot in terms of her abilities. The piercing orbs are here to force enemies to reposition or to catch enemies hiding behind shields. These orbs will be more potent than 2.0 due to moving and charging faster. Photon Barrier. I always thought the 2.0 Photon Barrier was a very unique ability for a support. In my opinion, it was best used to allow your main tank time to recharge their shields, which fits perfectly for a support. Unlike my tank Symmetra video, this Photon Barrier is the exact same as 2.0. I feel that allowing the barrier to be slowed would make Symmetra too powerful. I want this version of Sim to be a character that embraces aspects from all 3 roles in Overwatch. With this ability, Symmetra will be able to fulfill a tank's role for a few seconds. Turrets. So, Symmetra will now have 6 turrets total, but only 3 in each category. Sim will have 3 damaging turrets and 3 healing turrets. The damaged turrets now deal 40 DPS, which is 10 less than that of 3.0. I went with this number because Symmetra will be offering a lot to her team, and I don't want the damaged turrets to feel overwhelming. Still, if 3 turrets are attacking a poor sucker, that's gonna be 120 DPS, which is still formidable. Now for the healing turrets. I was honestly going back and forth with the numbers on these. The reason the healing turrets have a shorter cooldown and longer beam range is because healing needs to be up as often as possible. If Sim blows all her healing turrets at once, she will be put on a 24-second cooldown. Originally, I was gonna put the health of these turrets at 60, but then I realized that unlike damage turrets, which need line of sight with the enemy, a healing turret doesn't even have to face an enemy to be useful, meaning you can hide them behind friendly shields or cover on your side of the map. I wanted Symmetra to heal without needing to babysit as heavily as other healers do. The 40 heals a second is the same as Soldier 76 Biotic Field for comparison. One turret will heal 200 health in 5 seconds. I decided to allow a max of 2 turrets to heal one ally at once, granting them 80 heals a second, which is the same as a Moira heal. I do think this situation will be rare, since the turrets will autofocus allies with lower health. Teleporter. This was a last-minute idea of my community, actually. I was debating on whether to have the Photon Barrier or the Teleporter, and then I thought maybe both could work as separate abilities. I posted a poll, and at the time of making the script it had 272 votes, with 71% of you guys wanting both the Teleporter and the Photon Barrier. I had to tweak a few things in the rework idea to accommodate this, like the orbs dealing less damage, and I originally planned for the healing turrets to grant a speed boost. I realized that the turret speed boost idea would be useless since we would have the teleporter. Anyways, this teleporter is honestly what I feel the current teleporter should be. 30 meter range, which is 5 meters longer than the current 25. The cast time is also 1.5 seconds, down from 2 seconds on 3.0. I decided against making the teleporter infinite because unlike 3.0, Symmetra will not live or die by the ability. As a healer, Sim will have turrets to heal her and a Photon Barrier to defend herself. Photon Field. Probably the biggest question you guys are asking is why are you increasing the cost by 20%? Simple. Symmetra will be gaining ultimate charge faster because she will be healing allies and damaging enemies at the same time. I went against the idea of returning the shield generator to Symmetra because leaving the fight to put a shield gen up could sometimes cost you a point. I like the current barrier in the fact that you could use it for immediate impact. I did say that it feels like a tank ultimate, but Symmetra is going to be a little bit of everything with this rework, so I think it's fine. What are healer Symmetra's weaknesses? Even though the orbs are faster than their 2.0 increment, they would still be easy to avoid. Symmetra's 8 meter range in the primary means you could potentially never get hit with it if you play safe. Symmetra's primary needs to attack for 2 seconds to start dealing noticeable damage, which is enough time for plenty of heroes to take action. Symmetra's Photon Barrier can be baited out early, similar to how you bait a Moira Fade. A bad Symmetra player will toss out the barrier randomly, which will cause her to lose value. The barrier is also constantly moving, and therefore easy to maneuver around to still get damage in. Symmetra's damaged turrets maintain the same weaknesses as they do now, where they are easy to destroy and feature a fairly short range. Symmetra's healing turrets, on the other hand, have one very key weakness. They are static. They don't move. A Symmetra player will have to constantly reposition her healing turrets to heal her team. These turrets are also easily destructible, so if placed within line of sight of the enemy, they will most likely die. The teleporter still has a cast time, this time being 1.5 seconds. In that time, a team can prepare for the teleporter ambush and act accordingly. The Photon field is actually a very strong ultimate and almost always gets value unless the Symmetra panics or places it wrong. What are healer Symmetra's strengths? First of all, a Symmetra player is going to have to multitask with 3 abilities at once, which can be overbearing but also super powerful when managed correctly. Healer Symmetra will be able to do 3 things really well in my opinion. 1. Automatic healing with the healing turrets. Even in higher ranks, teammates sometimes forget to heal allies, and that's okay, we're all human. That's what these turrets are for. With good placement, Symmetra will be able to guarantee her team is getting healed while she focuses on other tasks. Like, number 2, alleviating pressure from her tanks with Photon Barrier. Repeating myself here, but Symmetra will be able to assist her Rhine or Orisa if their shield goes down by providing her own. And lastly, number 3, much like Symmetra 3.0, Healer Sim will be amazing at taking a space and making it her own playground with the teleporter. This aspect of Symmetra will be doubly true, since Symmetra will have 2 forms of turrets. Even though the 3 points I mentioned will be the main reason to pick Symmetra, she will also do well at other things like backline defense. Much like my tank Symmetra concept, I wanted to create a character who can protect the backline without hard CC. The Noodle Beam is to accommodate this. Even though it won't always lead to kills, it will more than likely force a flanker to back off or risk dying. Lastly, her orbs will force bunker comps to move around or risk feeding her a quick ultimate. Anywho, that's everything for this concept. I'm not going to go into details about why I want Symmetra to be worked, since I think I talked about that enough. And yes, I am aware of the teleporter fixes coming to live soon, but I don't think they're going to make that big of a difference. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below and we could get a discussion going. I'm YellowNinja, and peace.